On July 6, 2022, the sound of an explosion broke the tranquility of a quiet and peaceful place, and some large granite stone slabs were destroyed forever. The area where it stood is now empty. All traces of what stood there are now gone. It was a monument in Elbert County, Georgia, that was a tourist attraction, sometimes called the Stonehenge of America. And it was beautiful in its way, with its simplicity. But the wisdom carved into these stones was controversial. Some people considered it to be good advice, and yet others considered it to be evil. And this split is part of the reason it was destroyed. Now, to know more about the background, you can go and check out other channels. There's an absolutely wonderful one by Annie XD who explains in detail the background to this amazing monument, and that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about how sad it was for me to hear about its destruction, because it was one of those things that I really wanted to see one day. But moreover, the reason I wanted to see it was because so many of the things carved into those stones were reminiscent of my dream regressions, especially in the era of Uran. So, how do these guide pointers relate to Atlantis, and why did so many people take offense about it? In a nutshell, the two sides to this controversy are that one group believed that it was simply a set of guides to help humanity after a cataclysm. So, for example, if there had been a nuclear war, it was a guide to help humanity build again and find a decent balance that would work. But the other side, the other group that despised it, considered that to be the 10 Commandments of the Antichrist created by the devil. Since I don't believe in the devil or the coming of an Antichrist, I find the argument against these guidestones to be rather strange, but that's my perspective. But let's have a look at the various guide points and see how they compare to what was discussed in my other episodes regards the laws of Uran in Atlantis. First is to maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. This sounds like good advice to me, but it also is consistent with what was happening in Atlantis during the era of Uran, when people were only allowed to have one child per person during their lifetime. And once again, guide reproduction wisely is point 2, which is also in line with that, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Well, that seems like a very good idea, that if we're all speaking the same language, it would be a lot easier to communicate. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Once again, this sounds like very good advice, but not the sort of advice that the more religious people would necessarily appreciate. 5. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. All nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Well, this sounds to me like something that would remove the need for war. So that's pretty good. Number 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. Number 8, balance personal rights with social duties. This might seem a little bit like communism to some people, but it's not. It's just saying that society needs to look after society, basically. People shouldn't just be me all the time. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. That's beautiful, and how anyone could think that that is evil is truly beyond me. And this last one, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. This is another one that is very strong in terms of its link to Atlantis. So let's have a look at the rules from the era of Uran in Atlantis and see if you can see the similarities. The first is, no person is above any other. The second, respect everyone, neither interfere nor judge others. 3, cause no harm physically or mentally. 4, do not mislead others. 5, take nothing that is not yours. Keep no animals or people in captivity. 7, believe in science, rational thinking, and the laws of nature. Live without damage. Sustainability is key. And the last 2, which were instrumental in the downfall of this era of Atlantis, is number 9, not leave our boundaries without mission. People didn't like that. They wanted to go wherever they wanted to go and do whatever they wanted to do. And the last one, which is to have 1 child per person in a lifetime. There are quite a few differences between the Guidestones and these laws, and yet there's a strong feeling that somehow they're linked, that the intention was similar. And there's controversy with these guides, and there was controversy in Atlantis with the laws of Uran, or the laws of 1 person. But either way, they were both good advice for humanity, advice that humanity does not want to take.